Hello, everyone. Sorry for being a little late, but I was working in the garden the whole day and I noticed something. Originally, I wanted to record something different, but I think this is really important because I sort of came to a conclusion. I understood that there's a direct correlation between gardens and maintenance and our lives. And it hit me. It was really profound. I don't know if it was the sun frying my brain, but it really felt profound and I wanted to share this with you. When my father called me downstairs to mend the garden, I looked at it and I was like, the garden looks good. It looks fine. What exactly is it that I'm doing here? What exactly is it that you need my help with? And once we started to get into the work, I noticed that there were a lot of little spots that have been neglected for a couple of months. On a first glance, they seemed minute, unnecessary, not of any importance, not of any significance for the whole picture, right? Because you don't see it anyways. But once I started to get into the work, that it was really important to maintain these unseeming spots. The grass that sort of grows its way back to the concrete, the paved stone way that we walk on, the weeds climbing up the facade of the main building, tree roots that crawl themselves and push away certain concrete structures and statues and other plants and metals. And I seen that it was really important to maintain these, because what would happen over time is while the garden would look good from the outside, you would have problems from the inside. Okay, and before I start to throw the green thumb at you, the thing that I understood about this is that it's pretty much like your mind. Now, when I say this, a lot of people of you will automatically understand, but I urge you to stay and to start to see the significance of this, because it's very unseemingly like, oh yeah, we need to maintain our minds. And it's way more than just maintaining your mind, okay? It goes a little deeper. So what I especially wanted to talk about is neglect and things that creep up from time to time. Because we have certain thought patterns and habitual ways of doing and thinking and speaking, and we really don't notice these as problems. It's really hard to notice something as a problem if it seems to be normal to you. An unwelcomed weed can seem like a flower if it's been there forever. You understand what I'm trying to say? Ask yourself, do you have any thoughts or ways in which you behave that just seem perfectly fine or normal, that just blend in with the whole environment of your mind? They seem like, oh, I've been like this always. Or I don't need to change. Oh, it's always been like this. Yeah, I know, but it doesn't bother me as much. Why doesn't it bother you as much? Yeah, well, weeds grow roots too, right? They become a part of the garden. For instance, one weed could be whenever you get home, you lay on your bed immediately and doom scrolling on your phone for hours, draining your dopamine, disabling you from doing something that you actually wanted to do, therefore subconsciously entering the law of diminishing intent, which is the probability that you're going to do something that you really wanted to do is going to be decreased every time you tell yourself you're going to do it, but you don't do it. So just by this one weed, this one thing that is wrong in this garden, which seems like a flower. Why does it seem like a flower? It's comfortable, right? I'm just laying down a little bit. I'm so tired from working. Do you see how much damage to the main building is made by just this one weed, this laying on the bed or on the couch and doom scrolling? Deplete your dopamine and your motivation to do anything. This really affects me. Like I said, in these videos, I'm mainly talking to myself, but maybe you start to understand where this is coming from. Maybe you don't even recognize what your problems are. Another example, do you ever feel like, man, I kind of feel depressed. I got everything I need and I don't know what it is. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should. I don't know why I'm so depressed. Because everything, like the whole garden seems to be so good. Like, what's wrong? Why do I feel like this all of a sudden? You have so many weeds in your garden that seem like bushes, trees, and flowers. How did that happen? You didn't mend your garden. You neglected certain parts because you were so busy with upkeeping one thing, right? If you want to build a fountain in the middle of your garden, it's something great. Other people will look at it. You're building something that could be your body, bodybuilding, getting surgery, making hair, like just something that looks beautiful in your garden, right? Which has nothing to do with maintenance. You're just adding layers upon layers. And today it's a fountain, and tomorrow it's going to be a statue. And the next day it's going to be a hanging tree. And the next day it's going to be a beehive, right? A birdhouse, a bird feeder, a squirrel feeder. Fucking. Do you understand? That's what a lot of people do. They do window dressing. They do window shopping. Why do we do that? Because we want to appeal to other people. We want to appeal, like, look at my garden. Look at all of the cool statues that I have going on in my garden. It's beautiful, isn't it? What you don't understand is that you're not necessarily building something constructive and beautiful. Maybe you're building a labyrinth in which you will walk on and on and on and get lost, adding new stuff on top of it instead of just maintaining the most important parts. Now I understand that a lot of people would argue that maintenance alone doesn't grow you, right? And I can see that. I can definitely see that, because people think, if I'm just gonna maintain my garden, I don't have anything to show for. You see what you just said there? What I just said there? Nothing to show for. Yeah, but also just for myself. Well, do you yourself feel happy and healthy and active and calm in your garden without showing other people your stuff? Do you really need to add that statue? Do you really need to add that church? Maybe a fucking cathedral in your garden while the main building is collapsing? You're just building on weak foundation, because the weeds and the roots and the bugs, the pests, like the parasitic bugs, they're eating your garden. And doesn't life feel like that? You get your new pair of shoes, you get this and that, your nails done, but you feel sad, you feel hungry, depressed. At the same time, you feel like you're fat, your skin is breaking out, you have a temper, you're not calm, you're stressed out, you're impulsive, you're impatient, you're everything you don't really want to be. You ask yourself, I'm taking so much care and I'm doing this and that. You're just adding to the problem. And the more structure you give to your garden, the more weeds and roots will start to attack it. Why do you think so many people are striving for a minimalist lifestyle? If you do it in a healthy way, because they notice that if they go about maintenance, it gives them more than adding to their garden. It adds more to their garden when they're not adding to their garden. And if your garden is really, if your mind is really good maintained and you have a good peace of mind and everything is fine, then you can build on top of it. Then you can start to build structures and statues and stuff like that. You wouldn't want to build a structure on a weak foundation, right? And then again, you look around in all of the gardens of the people and it looks like, oh man, she's building a new fountain. He's got a new hammock. He's got palm trees. And all of these gardens, they look so beautiful, and you feel like you're behind. Yes, I'm maintaining my garden, but I need to get that new that gate and the new fence with the roses. You don't know how much their garden is rotting from the inside. Just like I couldn't see what the issues were with our garden when my father called me to help him. And if it's not the garden, maybe it's the main building. You don't know how it looks inside of there. The grass ain't always greener. Water your side.